had really the opportunity to start to engage our now really grown-up children in what it means to be giving as an adult rather than just as a child. And that's part of why we've started having these great conversations with them, as well as with foundation staff who've been tremendously helpful to us.
Can you tell us a little more about some of the conversations? What in those conversations did you maybe discover that maybe you hadn't known previously about your children's interest in charitable giving?
Well, Jordan helped us do a family mission statement and some family values together. And that was really interesting we all did them separately by ourselves and then compared our notes together with foundation staff. And to see our children both really express very clearly about the issues that were important to them as young adults in their communities was really terrific.
The goal setting process that Michelle has just mentioned allowed our children to express very individually their interests and their specific interests. And then the process that we went through, we melded all of our 4 interests together and kind of found common points, and then set goals, which were very educational. And also it was a way to get a buy-in, because when our children had goals and through the process, those goals filtered to the top of the planning process, they've got skin in the game, so to speak, and it was absolutely tremendous.
I think it's just important to be intentional about what you're doing. It doesn't have to be big. Just when the kids ask, why were you late or whatever, well, we try to say, well, Mommy had a board meeting and she's helping West Des Moines Human Services, which helps these people, or I'm on the Meals from the Heartland board, and I explain how it helps feed people that are literally starving to death, and it opens conversations up. And I think when you talk about it openly and intentionally, it makes a bigger impact.
Part of the conversation is around values and the legacy they want to leave. And especially with the tax law changes, people wanting to make sure that they're more efficient with their giving from a tax perspective. Donor advised funds come up a lot. And so we're often talking about what exactly they are, because I think that's still sort of not necessarily a commonly known vehicle for people. And so it's introducing the concept of what a donor advised fund is and how they can reach their charitable goals with that. And we always talk about the community foundation and the Endow Iowa credits and all that good stuff that comes with it too. But it's just part of the bigger conversation when we're talking about goals, not only for retirement, but what their goals are for giving. I think that we all intuitively do want to make an impact on this world when we leave it. And so having conversations about how you want to do that is crucial, to that conversation of your bigger wealth picture.
Being able to have those conversations about what they wanted and what was important to them. I mean, I think we learned a great deal about our kids. So being able to have the foundation, the community foundation, come alongside of us and figure out what it is we wanted to do, and then find those opportunities for us to give, has been invaluable over the last several years to really focus and be focused on those areas and organizations that mean something to us.
The joy for me has been being out in the community, soaking up all these different things and causes and passions of people all over the community, and just the vast range of things that people are interested in and pursuing in the Des Moines area specifically. And being able to be a part of that and the flexibility to soak that all in and direct things as our interests change and grow, that's really been the fun part for me, because I feel like, we meet once a year. I feel like in between our meetings, I'm almost acting as an agent for the foundation of just soaking up experiences and different things that people are passionate about in the community, and trying to find different ways we can help. And it's a lot of fun being out and rolling up my sleeves and figuring out where it is we can be of service.
When we found out that the Community Foundation had this Manage My Fund available through their website, it just opened a whole new world for us. I mean, that first time, Kay and Lynn sat there and walked us through the whole process of how you go and you know, do all of your donations right there on that website. And that's allowed us to keep a running tabulation of what we've done each year, which then we can go back and look at in our focus areas, in our areas of interest. What have we done in the past? First of all, what is our budget this year? What are we going to allocate? Do we want to do the same thing we did last year? Do we want to give more to some, less to some? Have we gotten too heavily involved or too in terms of our giving in the arts and not enough in human services, or vice versa? It allows us to prioritize and look at everything and compartmentalize. And I think that has just really helped us strategize our giving in ways that we were never able to do before. We tend, I think, as everybody does, to give to things that we are the most involved with. But I think it's also helpful that I have had members of, staff members from the Community Foundation come to us and say, we know that education is one of your areas of interest. Here's an opportunity that you probably didn't know about, that, they need money for such and such an effort. Would you be interested in looking at this giving opportunity? And so that's been really helpful too. Growing up, our children, seeing where Mike and I directed our efforts and volunteered, we never actually told them, you should go out and volunteer or you should do this. But what's happened is they have become such active volunteers as adults. I think just by example, I'll never forget the day I found out, he didn't even tell me, the day I found out that our oldest son, Cooper, had been volunteering for Everybody Wins as a reading volunteer, which was my huge passion, was reading for kids. And then he got a governor's award for his volunteer participation in that. And I was just, I've never been prouder of anything that my kids have done. And then our other son, who's a physician, I found out that he was delivering Meals on Wheels on his days off and in his off time. And again, things that we never said to them, you need to go out and volunteer, but they just grew up around it and did. And now they're both giving as well in their own right.